Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jason Wood, the VA loan guy, and today we're going to talk about the step-by-step plan to ensure you have a smooth VA loan transaction. So today we're going to talk about is your eligibility, your certificate of eligibility, credit requirements, income, down payment, common challenges and complex issues with VA loan, and making it a smooth transaction. So let's talk about your eligibility, understanding if you're eligible. So the VA has specific requirements depending on the type of service you've done to know if you're eligible for VA loan. So the VA loan, if you are active duty, requires 90 days of service after you've completed basic training in your schools. This is required during a wartime status, which the Department of Defense has declared us in a wartime status essentially since the first Gulf War. If this were to change to a peacetime status, this time period would go from 90 days to 180 days. If you served in the National Guard or the reserves, it's 6 years without missing any of your drill dates to make sure that you're eligible for the VA loan. Now, obtaining your certificate of eligibility is something that you can do, or we as the lender can do that. As a lender, we have access to the VA through their VA Lenders Portal, so we can pull your certificate of eligibility for you. It is critical to having a smooth transaction to ensure that the certificate of eligibility has been received before you enter into contract on purchasing your house. Credit requirements. One of the beautiful things about the VA loan is it is more flexible when it comes to credit requirements. While most loan products out there require a particular credit score in order to qualify, the VA loan is much more lenient. So the VA loan can go down to as low as a 500 credit score. We can even do VA loan transactions with no credit score. But it is important to understand if you are in a situation where you have the lower credit score threshold, to know what happened and what the story is for your reasons why you have the lower credit score. So being able to explain this to your lender, why the score is lower. Oftentimes it could be circumstances that were out of your control, and having an understanding of that is what's going to help get your VA loan across the finish line in a little bit smoother fashion. Down payment. Now, the VA loan is known for having a zero down payment requirement, and you absolutely can go buy a house with zero down payment. However, if you have some down payment, it can actually benefit you in a couple of ways. One of the ways that the down payment can benefit you is it can reduce your VA funding fee. So if you have a 5% down payment, it can reduce your VA funding fee, and if you have a 10% down payment, it can reduce it even further. These are important things to understand, especially if you've been saving to buy a house, or perhaps you're moving up into a new house, you sold one, you're rolling some of that equity over into the next place. Having some down payment can reduce that VA funding fee, which at the end of the day reduces your total loan amount and your monthly mortgage payment, making it a little bit more budget friendly. Common challenges that we see in a VA loan and not going smoothly that you can avoid and prevent yourself from going down the path of is having credit that isn't stellar, but not knowing why. Understanding why the credit may not be good is really going to be helpful for your total loan transaction, because oftentimes the underwriters are going to request an explanation from you on why a particular debt didn't get paid or what happened in a particular instance, so that they have the better ability to make a judgment call on whether or not they're going to approve the loan. The other thing that is really important is to understand where you are with your employment. So if you're still active duty in the military, your ETS date on your LES needs to have more than 12 months remaining when we close on the purchase of your home. So many people wait to use their VA loan for the very first time until they're about to get out of the military. There's nothing wrong with that so long as you've timed it appropriately. We need to make sure that when you close on that new purchase, you've got more than 12 months remaining. It's not advisable to have a couple of months left in your term of service in the military and then go try and use your VA loan unless you have a new civilian job and employment already secured with a job offer letter. But if you're in between that, you need to get a hold of what your employment status is going to be. Now, for some people where the ETS date is coming up and coming due, it may just be re-enlisting, and that's totally acceptable. We just need to prove that you're going to have employment for more than 12 months after you close on the loan. Additionally, gathering documentation and being prepared to move quickly with your lender. Oftentimes your purchase transaction is going to be predicated on the lender's ability to be quick. And the lender's ability to be quick really encompasses everybody who's involved. There's multiple third-party businesses that are involved in making your transaction come together. But as the client, as the borrower, your speed is also very important to the overall progress of the loan file. So having your documents in order, ready to go in a digital format, understanding how to upload documents, how to use PDFs, and how to email things is going to be critical to your success. Oftentimes we get so accustomed to doing everything off our phone and screenshots from our phone, but most underwriters aren't going to be willing to accept screenshots and cell phone images from things. So that's why we need to be adept at knowing how to access TSP accounts, how to be able to print things into a PDF and get stuff in a ready fashion. Also on top of that is being able to move quickly. Oftentimes your loan disclosures are going to come via email with electronic signature requirements like a DocuSign document. So it's important, if you're not really an email person, that during your pre-approval and your whole loan purchase, that you become an email person and you're double checking and staying on top of that stuff. Because again, the overall speed of the entire process can sometimes be stymied by the borrower not being on top of things. So we just want to ensure that you're checking emails and you understand how to provide stuff to the lender so that way everything can move very quickly. So some of those documents that you need to be able to have ready at your fingertips is proof of income. So if you're still active duty in the military, it's your LES. So understanding how to download that and save it as a PDF is important. You can't just send the URL link because the lender's not going to be able to access it. For your bank statements, understanding how to access your bank account and download the statements. It's not necessarily just a print screen of your activity, but you need to go into the bank and download the statements. If you're active duty and you have a TSP account, same thing, knowing your password, having that all set up and be able to print out the most recent statement on your TSP. A lot of times people will have, Robinhood accounts or E-Trade accounts, things like that for doing their own stock investment, and that's great. Same thing, you need to know how to access your account to pull down a statement and be able to provide that. But overall, being on top of your documents is going to be key. Your tax returns are going to be another thing, and oftentimes people will get a copy of their tax returns in hard paper copy. That's okay, but knowing how to scan that and make it a digital format is going to be important. There are many apps you can download that are free to use on your cell phone, or if you have a printer with a scanning feature, that's ideal as well. Now, if you've used a tax professional to help you do your taxes, most tax professionals are going to be able to provide you with that electronic copy of your tax returns, and that's exactly what we're going to need. Lastly, and probably the most important thing for you to have a smooth VA loan transaction is selecting the right lender. You need a lender who understands the VA loan inside and out, has read the VA loan handbook, and does more than 2 or 3 VA loan transactions per year. All this is going to be critical to your success on your VA loan going through smoothly from the pre-approval process all the way to you getting the keys to your new home. You also need a lender who's going to help advocate for you when it comes time to make the offer and help get your offer accepted. So many times the realtor representing the seller may be unfamiliar or afraid of VA loans, and it's up to your lender to overcome those objectives and help get your offer accepted. They have the responsibility to help sell your offer to the listing agent who's representing the buyer. So selecting a lender who offers that is going to give you a much higher chance of getting your offer accepted. If you like this video and you like more information like this, please give us a like, subscribe, and drop us a comment below. Thanks so much for checking us out today.